All right, everyone, look at there. We are live. I'm
Yeah.
hoping we're live anyways.
I
This should be
saw
on.
broadcast is live.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw that too. And then I've got a green check mark by my Facebook, my YouTube, and my Twitch. So hopefully all of that works out.
There you
So
go.
we'll see what happens. But anyways, this is kind of Indie Wars, or excuse me, dude. And you know what? I do that a lot lately. Use the Indie Wars, but Indie Fanatics podcast. This is kind of the podcast, kind of not, kind of its own little thing. We'll see how it works out. But if I was going to do a very first live broadcast, I would do it with none other than you, Biss.
Yeah. Here we go. In the saddle again, man. So, I appreciate it.
And it's funny because it's almost like, you and I, you're the only one that consistently shows up, I think, is what the issue is.
That is definitely the issue.
That's the issue with my podcast. They're like, you always only have Biss on. I'm like, okay, well, would you like to come on? Well, I'm not sure when I would be available. Well, then stop bothering me.
Yeah, I'm never busy, so
You've got nothing. You've got nothing better to do.
Going on.
Yeah, nothing better to do than sit around and fuck with me. So, all right, you guys at Inspire A.D. By the way, where did the A.D. part come from? Has it always been there, or did I just not notice it?
We rebranded to the Inspire A.D. coming back from the time off for the pandemic.
Oh, after death because of the pandemic. Yeah, look at that. It only took me a year and a half to figure it all out.
There you go.
So, anyways, you guys you pronounce it for me, Magnus
Opus. See, like, and here's the deal. Like, I'm not the name guy at all, right? Like,
right.
I'm the who are we putting together? Who's going to wrestle type guy. So
right.
All the graphics, the names, the rebranding is that's a lot of Max. So,
well, there you go. Well, at least he comes up with some cool stuff instead of My Bloody Valentine and all those normal everyday things.
What I actually pitched was My Bloody Valentine, and I guess it's been used by one or two folks over the years.
At least one or two. Yeah. So it's always something. So and you guys are going to be in a new location.
Season beatings.
Oh yeah. Seasons beatings.
I had all sorts of great ideas. I thought were really original.
And I was about to say not only great but original ideas, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be in a different venue, and on top of all of that, you're going back to your favorite day.
Yeah, we're going back to Sunday, which I'm super pumped about. Sunday's it's the best wrestling day in Austin. And yeah, Empire Control Room on Red River, or right off of Red River. I'm super fucking stoked for that. In the heart of downtown Austin, like before I even got involved with wrestling, like being an Austin kid, like running wrestling in that area has just always been a dream. So with ACW and Mohawk, that was always really cool. But now it's our thing that we're doing down there, so I'm really, really pumped for that.
How did you guys get that?
Quite honestly, Max's relationship with the bars down there on Red River, and with that sort of historical district, kind of put us in that sphere, right? So that's kind of what really kind of made it pop off and happen as fast as it did.
Nice. Very, very nice. And I have noticed that there are several card changes that have happened so far. So
this this cycle has been something else. If you look at that first card that we had put out, there's a lot of changes that have been made. There's some changes that had to be made before the poster even got released. So it's been a lot of change. I think we've ended up on, for all the circumstances, the best card that we can put forward. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, this is definitely one where some matches that we were really stoked about kind of got left on the I'm not going to say the clipping room floor because it wasn't really our idea to clip them off, right? But
Right.
just didn't circumstances didn't let them work out. Luckily, you know, for the most part, it's not injuries and stuff like that, which is the worst. For the most part, it's good opportunities, but yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where the show that we thought we were running is not the one that we end up at the finish line. But I'm really happy with what we have and what we ended up with, and I think it's still going to be a really special night, our first night at Empire Control Room.
You know, and talking about that, you always bring up, you know, all, you know, how great the card is always going to be at Inspire, and how, you know, with all of these changes to your card, that there's always enough top tier talent. Sorry, Jasmine Allure, but anyways, top tier talent that can fill the card, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, it's funny, like that's a name you just mentioned, that's not on this card. That's still like, you know, top 10 fucking talent in Texas. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's so much talent out there now, that you're able to, like, you have a curveball thrown your way, and there's somebody super talented that's out there that's not on the card yet. You know, and you hope that they're not booked yet, you know? So,
Right. Yeah.
um,
Yep. So I guess let's get this right into the card. I have it, like I said, I wrote stuff down on a post-it note because I'm using every device that I have to make this thing work. So
well,
we'll start. We'll start wherever you want to start.
no, let's spice it up. You read whatever poster card you have, and I'll just go with it. That way, you know, I'm not prepared.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, let it rock.
Is it Dante Leon
Oh yeah,
versus Rachel Rose?
yeah, and you know, this is one of those situations where we get thrown a curveball. Queen Emanata can't make it. You know,
Which, by the way, you're going to irritate a very, very lifelong good buddy of mine who has told me about her forever and ever because his wife is from Africa, and so he keeps asking me about her. And then finally, she was on somebody's card that I knew, and I sent it to him. He goes, "Dude, we're making a date. We are going to go see this." And then, bam.
yeah, I mean, they can still come out. It's still going to be a great show. This was a matchup that I mean, I really wanted to be the one to promote this first. So, and I'm still going to try to be, but you know, somebody may beat me to the punch now. Queen versus Queen, it was sitting right there. But you know, as we were talking about, things happen, and there's a ton of talent in Texas, and you know, Dante Leon is a former Noah Junior Heavyweight Champion. He's been doing tours of Japan with Ninja Mac. And you know, we get thrown the curveball. It's late in the game, and we reach out like, "Hey, are you going to happen to be stateside during this time?" And yeah, he is. So, you know, a guy like that has a championship pedigree over in Japan. Now he's got a shot at the Inspire Pro Championship, and you know, he may become a mainstay at Inspire if he picks up that belt. You know, like obviously we're gonna have to schedule more matches for him.
Right.
So right there, a good showing could do the same thing, right? Which, you know, a guy of that uniquely athletic ability is probably going to have a pretty good shot at it for us to use him whenever he is stateside.
Right. So. And that's always a decent problem to have is whether I'm going to be stateside or not to get a booking, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then, you know, we know that the folks that watch our stuff, if you're in another country doing stuff, that pretty much just makes you more appealing to our crowd. So,
right. You definitely have
a great issue to have.
Right. And you definitely have a unique crowd when it comes to that, you know?
Awesome.
They stay on top of all of that stuff. The
Yeah.
next one is Will Allday versus Great Scott.
Yeah, Will Allday kind of shocked the world at the last show. Answered Great Scott's open challenge, which he was sure was Mysterious Q, and picked up a win and picked up the undefinable title. You know, Will's another athletic freak running back at Rice University. Booker T, uh, graduate.
Right.
He's been on the NWA, or I'm sorry, not NWA, the New Japan Strong program. He's a freak of an athlete, and now he's our undefinable champion. And Scotty gets his rematch clause, and we see if he can get his belt back or if Will puts him in the review.
Well, Will did do a little end around on getting that belt at the last show.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. It was a wide sweep, if you will.
What is
So.
funny, because when it all started happening, I was like, who is this that keeps bothering them around the table, dude? Get away from the table. What is wrong with this guy? Like, literally, I kept thinking this guy's about to get punched in the face by Biss or somebody, because he keeps milling around over at this table, whoever he is. And then boom, there it is. It's Will Allday.
Yeah. I was back with Jack and the ring crew when it happened. So
right.
Yeah. So he got lucky. He didn't disrupt my table time.
Right. Exactly right. Let's see. Then we talked about it just a second ago, so we'll do that. Joey Janela versus Dmitry Alexandrov and T-Ray.
Yeah, this was originally going to be Dmitry versus Joey. I know it's a big match for Dmitry to have Joey one-on-one.
Right.
Luigi, if I'm not supposed to say this, I apologize, but Luigi picked up a concussion that he's trying to heal from, and he's just not 100% yet. And it's just one of those things where in this day and age, it's better to give him the night off, and you only get one brain, right? So
right. And because I was going to say that back in the day, it would have been, hey, just work through it. And now knowing what we know about, concussions and whatnot, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, like my first year in the business, I watched somebody try to work through a concussion, and kind of that sticks with me, right?
Right.
That situation. So watching them just struggle in the locker room afterwards, and all that type of stuff, right? Now we know a whole lot more about CTE and concussions and what they do. So it's a lot easier just to make the right call and go, you know what, like, as much as it would be really nice to say, hey, Luigi's going to be here, come buy your ticket. Like, if he's only here one more time, it's going to be a really shitty situation, right? So,
right.
Let's make sure we take care of each other and all that good stuff. But I think there's a new dynamic to this match that gets added. Dmitry was going to have a chance to showcase himself against a guy like Joey Janela that's known around the world. Joey was going to have a chance to be back in Austin, maybe get some wins going to challenge for a title. Now the title's right there in the match, right? So,
right.
If Dmitry has a good showing now, he's probably got a good case for another shot at the title. He could even pick up the title here tonight. Joey could pick up the title, which means more bookings for him in Austin. So, T-Ray's still gotta walk that walk. There's a lot of guys gunning for T-Ray, so see if he can hold on to that title.
Right. Let's see. Then we got Superiority Complex versus the Texas Pillars.
Yeah, these are names that get me in a lot of trouble.
Is it?
Well, just the names of the tag teams, the guys.
Right. Yeah.
No, like, this is Superiority Complex is the name for Exodus Prime and Stephen Wolf, who had a best of 3 with us. And then as they were fighting each other, we kind of came across the discovery that they sort of had this weird charisma with each other, and they kind of worked well with each other.
Right.
So, they ran off Rick Savage at the show at Yellow Jacket, And then, at the show, the last show at Pinballs, they wrestled La Orda from, from Mexico, quite honestly,
Right.
Mexico and Laredo, and they looked great. So we're gonna kind of keep the ball rolling. We're gonna throw a pretty big test in front of them. Mysterious Q and Brian Keith, the Texas Pillars. Whatever you want to call them, they're two of the top guys in the state, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Brian Keith is a globetrotter now. He's all over the country. I heard he did really well at the NOAA tryouts. And then Mysterious Q starting to make his way up to Chicagoland, starting to make those out of state bookings. I mean, that's a guy that's Texas's best kept secret for the last like 15 fucking years. So those two guys together, they've been on the GCW shows and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to this match. I think it's going to really show all four men just how talented they really are. And there was a point in time we were supposed to have BK versus Exodus Prime, and Exodus, actually his wife gave birth to
That's right.
His child.
Yeah.
So now he's going to get a chance to get in there and mix it up with BK and see exactly is he as good as he thinks he is.
Right. Now I'm going to see if I can get all of these names right. I'm going to say, so you got Shimbashi, O'Neill, Buzzsaw Samuels. I'm going to ask you about that guy. And then is it Kari Wright?
Yeah. No, you
All
nailed it, man. And this has kind of become a real good staple of Inspire. This is something near and dear to my heart. We're basically taking guys that aren't on the roster, and we're putting them in spots to kind of try out and press the crowd and see if they can stick.
Right.
It's not really a deal where we go, okay, who are the guys that we don't have? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I like to put these guys in a situation where it's a good, styles make fights, right? Are they going to be in a good position to really show what they can really do?
Right.
If you have if your number 1 guy is a luchador and your number 2 guy is like a deathmatch guy, sometimes it doesn't always work, right? So,
right. Yep.
But this is a chance to take some guys that are kind of on our radar, throw them out there, let them beat the shit out of each other, and the winner will get, an opportunity going forward. So, really looking forward to seeing what comes out of this match.
Yeah, and I've seen Shimbashi. I think I've seen Corey O'Neill. Like I said, I don't know the Buzzsaw Samuels. I'm not sure about him.
Yeah, Buzzsaw Samuels is from Houston.
Okay.
I'll tell you how the sausage is made a little bit. He's a guy that comes up and helps out on our shows quite a bit. Has helped in a lot of the pull parts, and he's been wrestling on the New Texas Contender Series, and I really like what I've seen out of that. So, hey, let's put him out there, and he's earned his shot and his opportunity. So let's put him in there with guys like Corey O'Neill and Shimbashi. And I think they're just going to beat the shit out of each other, quite honestly.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas style, man.
Yeah, if you want to make a name for yourself and you want to be seen, you got to do some stuff,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's yeah. Let's see, Fly Death versus Space Tiger and Zeke Rose.
Yeah, there was some some backstage politicking, some jumping the rankings a little bit, but I think Space Tiger and Zeke are 2 guys that want to test themselves. Well, I mean, I've been saying it till I'm blue in the face. There's no better unsigned tag team than Fly Death.
Right.
So I think, they may have bitten off more than they can chew, but we're going to find out. Right.
Right.
So they'll be in there. The proof will be in the pudding when they're in the ring with those guys, and we'll see what they can do. If they can keep up, if they can get a win, then they become the Inspire Tag Team Champions. Or Fly Death going to lap them,
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see, all right, you guys think you're at that level. Here we go. Time to prove it.
Well, that's what I was about to say is that, at some point you need to go to the next level to see what level you're at, and I think, Space Tiger and Zeke Rose. Now I've watched Zeke Rose for a couple of years now, and he seems to be getting better and better. He was from here AAPW in Austin, and I know for like the last couple of months he's gone down to Rodney and Jazz's dojo down in San Antonio. So I think he is definitely trying all the right things to move in a different direction.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Zeke a little bit. Like, if you look at Zeke Rose, like there's not a guy that's a wrestling guy that doesn't see something there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's got all the God-given gifts that he really needs. So now it's and I watched him. He was in the match with Jay Lethal, and he kind of here's one step up. But now I know what that next level is. Okay, well, are you going to take the next step and the next step and the next step? So,
right.
I mean, definitely a guy that excites guys like me, guys that are promoters that kind of pay attention to what works in wrestling. Like that guy has those God-given gifts. Now it's okay. Is he going to put together the rest of it? So
right. And
very exciting.
The only way you can figure that out is if you go out there and do it,
Yep. And nobody's going to do it for you. You got to do it on your own,
That is, yep, absolutely correct. So let's see. I'm going to save this one for last because I love these guys to death. But anyways, you got Brick Savage versus, well, all those masked people.
The masked folks.
Yeah, the Red Scare, Hollywood Void, Great Depression, all of them at once.
Yeah, and apparently Roxy Castillo has cut a deal to bring these guys into her service. So Roxy, I think, really surprised T-Ray with going out and getting these guys and kind of coordinating a jump attack on Brick Savage, slapped him right in the face, told him to hit the bricks, no pun intended, and then had these guys jump him. Well, Brick's had a lot of time to stew on it, and Brick's a fucking animal, man. So
yeah, and it's funny because I always tell everybody that I actually wrestled with and against his dad, and just the difference in styles and like Bobby Too Bad could wrestle. Brick Savage is just an absolute monster. You know what I mean? So,
well, and what excites me is like he's bodybuild. He obviously was a competitive bodybuilder. He has the strength. He understands wrestling efficiency.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what's going to happen when that guy pushes him to that limit where he's going to have to wrestle, where he's going to have to he's not going to be able to just put his foot on somebody's throat and be done with it.
Right.
I really want to see that day when that guy pushes Brick to that next level, because here's the deal. Like, I think a lot of people see, hey, this former bodybuilder, this yoked up dude that's just, slicing through people. And Brick's in his rookie year of professional competition.
Right.
But I want to say he's spent 15 years watching, training, preparing for this.
Right.
So if you think that's the extent of Brick Savage, is that he just is a big dude that's going to throw people around and be done in 6 minutes, I think you're going to get surprised at some point, and I'm really excited for that day.
Yeah, absolutely. And and that's the other thing. I actually went and saw him at his gym. I don't know. I guess it was, I can't remember if it was before or after the pandemic. We'll say before. Doing these powerlifting competitions and whatnot. So yeah, he's just not the kind of guy that you're like, oh, look, he lifts weights. No, this guy is all in,
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you underestimate him in that way, that'll be too bad for you.
100%. 100%. All right, so the last one I have on here, and you know what? I think I like the way we did this because it's not there is no main event because all of these could be a main event
Yeah,
on anybody's card.
I
You
think I
know.
gotta figure that out tonight, actually. So
So
I'm
the
pretty
last
sure I know
one,
which one.
yeah, the last one on the card is Born Haters with Alejandra Lyon versus the Camachos.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for this one too, because the Camachos are just kind of a throwback, right? Um, I think they've still got some room to grow and to learn, but they have that throwback feel to them. They have that like world class or mid south feel to them.
Correct.
Um, and and then you got the Born Haters that basically do everything that you're supposed to in wrestling. They do it wrong. You know,
Right.
like they basically have rewritten the rule book.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys should be a sketch comedy thing on fucking, Comedy Central late at night or something, but
Right.
then they get in there and they do the damn thing. And you know I mean, Matt the wrestler may be the most over wrestler on our roster. The
Yep.
crowd knows what they're gonna say, and they're all in. And it's crazy to think about. When we came back, these are the guys that got their asses beat by Ricky Starks.
Right. Right. Right.
um
Right.
but that's a long time ago. These guys have
You
put
know,
in the work. And
it's funny you say that because they were here last weekend at AAPW, and I was here, and that was the promo that Don Rodrigo cut. Is that he actually beat Ricky Starks at some show in a park somewhere?
yeah, I
So
mean, yeah. I mean, either that was my park and it was my show and he's delusional, or he may have legit beat Ricky Starks in the park somewhere. You never know. Don's been at this for a little bit too. So
that is correct. Yep, that is 100% correct. So, yeah, so that ran down the card. So we've got we'll do this. We got a little less than 3 minutes, so right at 3 minutes to go. So let's what is it that you're most excited about with the show coming up on Sunday?
just to be in that building and kind of see, because every building feels a little different. Every building has a different vibe, but just to kind of be in a building with a new vibe. And you really don't know until everyone's in there, and how they're reacting. Ticket sales have gone very well, so I think there'll be a lot of people in there. um
So let me ask you that: is it how's it size wise compared to the pinballs where you guys were at?
oh, like I think like 4 times as big. Like
Oh, nice,
maybe bigger. Like, yeah.
nice.
So maximum capacity, we're not I mean, obviously we're trying, but like we're not expecting to hit this time. But like we think that we can put 500 people in there.
Oh,
um
damn, yeah.
so we're excited about that. um it was just, our GA has seats now. We don't have to ask people to stand
Stand
for
up,
3 hours. Um and we're able to sell reserve front row. We had 20 seats we could reserve for front row, and we had about 40 people that wanted front row.
right, right.
Like, so it was kind of, you know, felt shitty to have people that weren't able, that, were buying tickets within the first 2 days, but couldn't get front row. So,
Right.
And this actually second row sold out before front row. So,
Hmm.
I don't know if it was a price tier thing or what, but yeah, by one ticket in one day. But like, still, like, it's kind of cool, like,
Yeah.
there were big groups of second row seats going, where big groups of people go together, and they bought those seats together. So really excited there. We sold out first and second row. GA's moving. If GA had as many seats as first and second row, like, we would be completely sold out. But like I said, we can sell up to 500 seats. So
Nice.
the biggest pre-sale we've had since coming back from the pandemic, and we're at the level where we were at, like, Marquesa and stuff like that. And we've still got a week to go. So you know.
Nice. Very, very nice. So we're going to do a little bonus minute because I totally forgot about this. And I think you guys, let me rephrase that. I could have been dreaming. We'll find out. You were going to do an actual TV show with your stuff. And now how can people watch all the past shows?
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, I thought I saw one little blurb on it. I've never heard about it again.
Yeah, IWTV. We've
Gotcha,
officially
yeah.
signed up with IWTV. The show is on there from January, but I think they're gonna do like an official like, hey,
Launch.
the show's on here and here's when we're gonna play it stuff.
Yeah.
If you go looking for it, you can find it. There were, you know, we're in line to have our stuff like on the main page and stuff like that. It's just a matter of everything working out and all being together. Did you just hear my text message?
That's okay. I don't care. It is what it is.
So if anyone at home is wondering what the fuck, yeah, that was me.
Booty call.
So that's all lined up, and yeah, IWTV, if you're on there for New Texas or anything like that, we're on there as well. Check us out. If you're not, there's tons of great stuff on there. You know, a big plus for us is a lot of the people we work with in Texas are on there. So it was kind of cool with everyone having their own thing, but like everything seems to be on there. So we went ahead and jumped over. And it just makes it easier for that stuff. So
right. Super, super cool. I appreciate you being on. Don't go anywhere because I will close this out, but we'll hang out for a few more minutes. And anybody that joined the live broadcast, I appreciate that. This is the very first live I've ever done for any reason whatsoever. So I appreciate it. And like I said, I can't think of anybody else other than Biss who I would want to be on here. So again, I appreciate it. Everybody go by patreon.com/Indie Fanatics. I got some exclusive shit up there, and there'll be more in the next week. So appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
See you guys on the 26th.
Yes, sir.